The storm came without warning. One moment the sky was crystal clear above the quiet fields of Ashridge, and the next it was as if God had torn open the heavens. Thunder growled low, like a beast waking from a deep slumber. Trees shook violently in the wind, and power lines crackled before going dead. The only light that remained came from the surging clouds and the ancient ruin that stood atop the hill, the Hollow Arch. Three friends stood at its base. Liam, 28, sharp-jawed and cautious. His clothes were soaked through, his knuckles white around the flashlight he held. Chloe, 26, fierce and fearless, her red hair plastered her face, jeans muddy from the climb. Marc, 29, always skeptical, now eerily quiet, his camera still rolling despite the chaos. They had come to document urban legends. The Hollow Arch was said to be cursed, a remnant of a gate that had once opened to other times, as the legend put it. It was harmless lore, a footnote in a forgotten book Marc had found in his grandfather's attic. But the storm had changed something. The rain stopped all at once. The wind vanished. Sound itself died. The world turned silent. Liam stepped forward and reached out to touch the arch's moss-covered stones. And that's when the air cracked open. A slit no wider than a man's chest shimmered within the archway. It was like looking through water, and beyond it, another place entirely. A dark sky without stars, land that looked burned and dead, with towers in the distance. The air hummed. Marc raised his camera, whispering, "Are you seeing this?" Then the wind returned, but it didn't blow around them. It pulled. Chloe screamed as her feet lifted off the ground. Liam grabbed her wrist, shouting for Marc. It was too late. The force yanked them through the portal, their bodies twisting like paper in a hurricane. The moment they passed through, everything went dark. When they woke, the sky above was blood red. No sun, no clouds. Just a dull, crimson hue, as if the world had been scorched from existence. They lay on a cracked stone platform in the middle of an endless wasteland. The air was warm and smelled of metal. "What the hell is this place?" Marc whispered. Chloe stood slowly, brushing ash from her jeans. "We're not on Earth anymore." They were surrounded by silence, but it wasn't peaceful. It was watched. In the distance, a great black tower loomed, pulsing like a beating heart. "Where's the portal?" Liam turned, searching behind them. It was gone. Only the arch remained, crumbled and inert. No shimmer, no hum, just dead stone. Marc knelt beside his camera, still working. He flipped the viewfinder around. What he saw chilled his blood. The last frame before they were pulled in, something had been standing behind the portal. Not human, long limbs, a stretched face, too smooth, a mouth open wider than any jaw should allow. It had watched them go. They started walking toward the black tower. It was the only landmark in the wasteland. As they walked, they passed monuments, stone faces buried in the sand, twisted in screams, with hollow eyes that followed them. They found bones, human bones. Fresh. What kind of time travel is this? Chloe whispered. This isn't another era. This is another world. No, Liam said grimly. It's both. They climbed a ridge and looked down upon a village. But not like any they'd seen. The houses were made of organic material, pulsing like they were alive. Roofs that seemed to breathe. Doorways that moaned in the wind. Something moved through the streets. Tall shapes dragging chains. Their limbs bending the wrong way. "Stay low," Liam hissed, pulling them behind a jagged rock. Marc zoomed in with his camera. The shapes were once human. Their skin was stretched over bone, but something else had taken over. Their eyes glowed faintly with violet light. One stopped and looked in their direction. Its head snapped sideways, unnaturally. It sniffed the air and then shrieked. It was a sound that felt like it tore through their souls. "They know we're here," Chloe said, already running. They fled into the hills. Behind them, the shrieks multiplied. Night fell fast, and it was worse than day. Darkness wasn't just absence of light, it was alive. The sky turned black and began to ripple like a surface of water. Stars moved in impossible patterns. From the darkness, whispers began. At first it was gibberish. Then, they began to hear their own voices, whispering their darkest secrets. You left him to die. Chloe, you always resented your brother. Liam, you wish they were both dead. Marc dropped his camera. That's not me. It's not me. They found a cave and huddled there, lighting a fire. Shadows danced across the walls, and the whispers faded. But they weren't alone. In the far back of the cave was a figure, not moving, wrapped in rotted black robes. Liam stepped forward slowly. A book rested in the figure's lap. Its pages open, filled with symbols that crawled and changed when you looked at them. As Liam reached out, the figure moved. Its hand snapped forward, grabbing his wrist. Its mouth opened, and out poured black smoke filled with faces. Screaming, trapped souls. Its eyes were sockets, filled with swirling voids. The time that should not be is watching, it hissed. It collapsed into ash. But the book remained. Marc picked it up. On the first readable page, the portal can be rebuilt. 3 components. 3 sacrifices. The heart of the forgotten king. The bone of the dreamless. The eye of the unseen. Each had a symbol beside it. Directions that only half made sense. Liam clenched his jaw. It's the only way back. Over the next days, they hunted the pieces. The heart was buried in the Black Tower. The bone lay beneath the screaming sands, where voices of the damned sang lullabies to the dead. The eye was held by a priest who had no face, hidden in a cathedral built from human spines. Each journey broke them a little more. Marc lost his hand in the tower, bitten clean off by something they never saw. Chloe had her eyes turned black in the sands. She stopped sleeping and began seeing things before they happened. Liam aged 10 years overnight after gazing too long into the eye. But they succeeded. They rebuilt the arch, stone by stone. As the final symbol was carved, the air shimmered again. The portal pulsed. Open, but something stepped out first. The faceless one, the thing from the camera. Now it stood before them in full. It was taller than any man, robed in robes made from living shadows. Where its face should be, there was only a spiraling void. And inside that void, other worlds burned. It spoke directly into their minds. You may not leave without sacrifice. Chloe stepped forward. Pick me. Let the others go. Liam shouted no, but it was too late. The shadows reached out, wrapped around her, and she smiled once. Don't waste it. She was gone. Marc and Liam stumbled through the portal. As it collapsed behind them, they woke on the hill, beneath a silent sky. The hollow arch was whole again, but cracked now, bleeding black. Marc's camera still worked. He played the footage. Chloe's last words echoed in the speaker.